The stock market is about to wrap up its strongest quarter in years. The Dow, S&P 500, and the Nasdaq are all poised to close out the second quarter of the year up significantly from the start of the year. But despite the booming markets, President Trump is expressing his frustration over the still high cost of gas, even as the price of oil has dropped significantly. Let's bring in NBC News chief business correspondent Christine Romans. She's here with us. Christine, the S&P, the Nasdaq, as I said, they're about to have their strongest quarter in 6 years. What's behind this?
Yeah, since 2020, remember when there was a big stock market decline and a recession because of COVID, and then the markets came roaring back. What's behind it is really once-in-a-lifetime investments into artificial intelligence. You've got the S&P 500. The earnings of those companies for 2 quarters in a row have been 20% plus. That means these companies are making a lot of money, and you're seeing that reflected in their stock price. If you look at chip-making stocks, for example, they had the best quarter in history. I think something like 76%. We've just never seen this. Again, it's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of build-out of artificial intelligence infrastructure, and that's driving the stock market.
And as we mentioned, President Trump has been venting frustration about the price of gas, right? And why can't gas prices come down while oil prices have come down? What's the reason for that?
Well, they don't move in lockstep exactly. And I will say gas prices have had a really quick decline here, the biggest, fastest decline we've seen, I think, since 2022. So gas prices have been falling and falling pretty dramatically. But the president says he wants them at $2.50 a gallon. They're not quite there yet. Before his war with Iran began, they were at $2.98. So you're looking at maybe for the 4th of July weekend, $3.75 will be a gallon of gas. The president wants them lower here. He wants them lower immediately, and he's asking gas retailers to quickly lower those prices. But Kate, when you look at the economics of being someone who owns and runs a gas station, these aren't the big oil companies. These are, in some cases, these are small businesses. They lower gas prices a little more slowly sometimes because they're trying to make up for what they lost when gas prices were rising. It's very kind of erratic, and they don't really move close together. It's just the way the market works that when oil prices spike, gas prices go up like a rocket, and when oil prices fall, gas prices come down like a feather.
It takes a while for them to get down. They're also competing with each other.
Exactly, right? You can't lower yours too quickly, Yeah,
Christine, thank you so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.